Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start with a short remark. When I looked at the program and I saw so many representatives of the government, I thought, with all due respect, it may start with a boring side, but I have to say I'm really impressed with all three presentations, maybe because of the fact that all three speakers have some business background. That explains why they were so brief and very informative. Now, I'm going to speak about the situation of the sector in Poland, and when talking about Poland, I will tell you the story. I don't know if it's a success story, but we have started 5 years ago and we have reached certain level. Before I go into my presentation, I would like to mention that the success story of ABSL and the sector in Poland is very much related to the cooperation with the government. Yes, we can do a lot as businesses, but to do more, we need the support of the government. And once again, coming back to the presentations of my predecessors, I have to say, Minister Grappini, that you mentioned the three ideas that are key for the growth of the sector, which is the communication. That's where it starts. We have to talk. It's not enough just to talk. It's not enough just to say what the parties may mean. The dialogue is important, and you also mentioned that. And the third aspect is cooperation. The State Secretary Jonika, you said one very important thing that sets the stage for all of us. You said that it's the sector for the future. If you do realize that this sector representing just the companies with only foreign capital has about 50,000 employees in Romania, and growing 20%, which means there is at least 10,000 new jobs every year. Now you understand why we have so many representatives of the government, even if it's not that close to the election. And the State Secretary Konea, you did mention that we need lobbying for the industry, that we need association as the representation of the sector, and that we need strategy for the development of the Romanian economy. These three aspects are very important. Now, if you allow me to go to the example of Poland. We, as the sector started in Poland around the year 2002. So roughly, this sector has been in Poland for 10 years. When talking about what's going on, we have to present the key aspects of the sector in Poland and of ABSL. Association of Business Service Leaders was created in Poland in November 2009. And once again, I have to say I'm very impressed because our first conference, we had 17 member companies. We had 49 people in a room that was just 1/4 of this. We had only 2 representatives of the government. And it was really very important for us to understand why we wanted to create this association. The next 3 years allowed us to grow very slowly, but for those 3 years, we were mainly called a group of friends that wanted to do something for ourselves. We were not associated with the whole sector. It was just the 17 companies, and we were very much compared to the existing chambers of commerce, trying to understand what's the difference between the Chamber of Commerce or the specific Chamber of Commerce of IT or of accounting. We were trying to prove for the first 3 years that we wanted to do more for us, for the whole sector, but also for the economy of Poland. So only 2 years ago, we have started with a strong statement to the government saying, yes, we do want to represent the whole sector that 2 years ago represented about 75,000 people. Now, what we have in Poland is a strong position as a partner for the government and for the companies. We have 7 local chapters in 7 largest Polish cities. We have about 100 members of ABSL that are employing 70,000 people. And we are a partner of the Polish government. And now, an explanation. When we give the data about the Polish sector, we say only about the companies with at least 10% of foreign capital, which doesn't mean we do not involve the Polish companies, but just for the clarity of the reports that we produce, we produce the reports based on companies at least with 10% foreign capital. So what does the sector look in Poland right now? It's 110,000 people employed in those companies. The growth is 20%. So now in case of Poland, you do understand why the Polish government wants to work with us when we create 20,000 new jobs every year. And the election in Poland is in 2 years. So that is why that interest is stronger and stronger. The growth for the last couple of years was very strong. When we look at the companies that came to Poland, you can see that we have the captive service centers, but we also have the providers. So the variety of the companies is very wide. Now, when talking about the growth and types of companies that we have, still finance and accounting is the basic one. But the second one is IT, what was already mentioned in the speeches of my predecessors. It's a very strong cluster and it's growing very strongly. But what's important for the government, what's important for the universities, what's important for the future of the sector is that research and development usually comes third when talking about the development of services that are being offered in the countries where we already exist. The employment was starting from 2008 when we started producing our reports, 20%. So 75% of the growth just in the years 2009 and 2011 shows that this is a very vibrant sector. Now, when talking about what we offer to the employees, but what we offer also as a partner to other partners, universities, government, clusters, is the complexity of that offer. Which, first of all, if you do realize that 10 years ago, to work on positions like you offer today in Romania, people had to go abroad. People could work as those experts in London, in Zurich, in Paris, and somewhere else. Now they can do it in Romania. The career path, for a lot of those people that you are employing, it's the first job. You give them the first example of what it means to work in an international company, in an international environment, in a company, a corporation. Sometimes it's a biased name, but for young people, it's a very good start. Then when you look at the services that you are providing in your centers, what we have observed in Poland as well, it's the growth of complexity. It's no longer rewriting invoices or putting those little things together in the IT sector. It's more analytical, it's more complex. So when you look at the offer of the sector, you can see that complexity is the key word that it's offering. Now, back to Poland. I mentioned that we have 7 local chapters in 7 different cities, but the variety of Poland offers more than 50 different locations, including secondary and tertiary cities, and locations that make it possible for F&A, IT, R&D, and ITO. When talking about who currently is coming to Poland, but you probably observe the same situation, these are companies that have a complexity of services to offer, but also have a long tradition that stands behind them. The last 2 years, I would say, we are looking at the companies from traditional or conservative locations like France, UK, or Scandinavian countries. Of course, Americans all the time. But the conservative locations that are a little late should have come here 5 years ago, but right now they made the decision. For example, RWE with the turnover of 43 billion euro and the gross profit of 9 billion euro annually, they probably thought for the last 2 years that they had a lot of time. But their bosses said, no, we do not have that time, we do have to save. So companies coming right now with the complexity of processes, much faster and with a big experience in what they are doing. The market trends that we are observing also offer growth for the employees, both those working for us for a long time, but also for those employees coming straight from universities. So you can see that the global solutions that are being offered in our centers are the answer for the hunger of young people to learn more. You can see that desire of expertise is being satisfied in our centers. You can see that we are going to core processes. Once again, processes that were being serviced from abroad now are being serviced from our own countries. So the process transformation offers bigger, faster, and better growth in our natural habitats. When talking about Poland, after all 5 years that we have existed, we have gained the recognition of the government, we have gained the recognition of other partners, like universities that are producing our potential employees, like employees with the experience working in Poland or working abroad. When new entities are being opened in Poland, we get CVs both from the country but also from outside. So right now, when talking about the future of the sector, we know that there are 3 key areas. First of all, we have to secure the flow of the employees, both graduates and experienced. The second aspect that is for us most important for the next 2 years is branding of our sector. We still are being perceived, maybe not by the experts, but by partners from outside of the sector and the graduates, as the place for maybe 12, maybe 18 months to get the information and go somewhere else. Once again, those people still think that we are rewriting the invoices. We have to change that. We are still trying to convince within our corporations and outside that complex processes are being able to be served from Romania, from Poland, from Czech Republic, from Slovakia. These 3 aspects, secure flow of employees, better recognition with a higher position among the employees, and more complex processes, lead us to support the companies that we already have, but also lead us to invite the newcomers that enable us to create the critical mass. Sometimes we are being asked, why do you cooperate? Because you are being perceived as competition. We say, yes, maybe for the outside world, we are a competition, but we will not be able to do what we want in the locations where we are if we all are not getting stronger. So gaining strength is the main aspect for the next couple of years in Poland. We as ABSL created 4 years ago for the first time the annual report that right now is the core source of information about Poland, but also about Central and Eastern Europe for not only companies in our countries, but also for the experts from outside. So the quotations from ABSL report are found with Everest Group, with Hackett, with all those that deal with our industry. So once again, if I was going to give you the 3 points that are important for the future, for the growth, is to cooperate with your natural partners, predict the growth, and look to the future, because you are the future of the economy of Romania. Thank you very much.